Greetings, Collins team. This is Sue, and I'm going to show you how to find out what you need information on our servers. Go to your desktop. There's a little folder down here. It should be Explorer. You could also do a right-click Start in Explorer, Windows Explorer. But we'll just do this because I want you to see what I'm looking at here. Two of our servers, actually we have three, but we're only going to be using two. There's a share X, a share Y, and a share Z. A share X we do not use. That is for storage. There are two that I want to focus on, which is share Z and share Y. Let's start with Y. So on the Y drive, a Y drive contains all of our working files. So I would suggest that you get very familiar with each and every, probably not every, but the main folders on the Y drive. What is here are, these are our filing cabinets. Here's where we keep board packets. So if you double check that, you have all of our properties here on the Y drive under board packets. And let's say if we're going to focus on just one association today. So I'm just going to say Bayside. So if we look in Bayside, we have all the years that we have board packets for. Let's look at 2020. So there are copies of all the board packets. They're pretty lengthy, as you can see. They're pretty big. Let's open one. This one has 74 pages. So nice looking board packet, by the way. So that is what we keep in there. So we're going to go back to the Y drive. This is the Y. There are board packets. There's board training. This is something usually that Paul will fill. This is for training seminars we do. Here's our budget file. This is where we keep all our budgets. We have a prep file and we have the actual budget file. So a prep file is where we put all the stuff. So let's go look at Bayside, since we're talking about Bayside today. Bayside's prep file. It has a budget template. It has a bunch of other things in there. And then we package that budget and we go back to there, and then there's the disclosure, the actual disclosure packages. Then we have, these are budget packages that are already complete. You could stretch this out a little bit. If it says final, then that means it's the final package that was sent to the owners, okay? Let's go back to the Y drive. So that is our budget file. By the way, let's go back into that budget file. These little items here with the little hashtags in front of them, that's what's included in the budget package, part of the disclosures, just so you know. And then this is also where you would find a template to use for the budget newsletter. Okay, let's go back to the Y drive. There's some course material from CACM. And there's some pictures. On this pictures, there's some pictures of the properties. There are staff pictures. There are some actually pictures on the other drive, which I'll show you, but this is a main repository of the pictures here. This collection file is used by the accounting staff. Let's see. Let's go down. Financial statements. These are monthly financial statements that the accounting staff leaves for us. They will also email those, I believe. This is a folder, our filing cabinet for the governing documents, articles, bylaws, and CC&Rs. That's where you'll find it on the Y drive. This is hiring docs. This is what we use for paperwork, new person. Here's all our insurance disclosures. So for all of our properties, let's look at Bayside. This is all of their insurance disclosure. This 5,300 right here, that's what typically, it's usually a one-pager that goes with the budget. But it looks like all of the whole package is in here. Let's see. Let's go back. We're out of the insurance. So here's where we keep all our management agreements. So you can see that this Y drive is a huge amount of information. Let's see, another one that you would need to know. And let's toggle down a little bit. Our year-end financials. That's where it's sort of like the budget file, but you'll have like a prep file and a distributed file. Those are a little less bulky, and you're welcome to go in and look. Just grab one and look and see what we do. You'll also find the your newsletter template. So that is just, I'm trying to keep these videos short. So that is just a brief look at the Y drive. I would suggest, if you want to go in and look and tool around and see what's in each of these files, you'll see what's useful for you. Let's go to the Z file. The Z file, these are all our filing cabinets specifically geared toward our properties, okay? So let's find Bayside. So each property will have a folder. Here's Bayside, and now Bayside has all these filing cabinets, right? That has, all kinds of stuff about legal, minutes, financials, budgets, annual meeting, and a current file, which is where we keep anything that we're going to put in the new board packet. There's all kinds of things in here that you can look at to just get familiar with the property. Let's go back. Let's go back one. The only other one I want to show you on here. So I would say go ahead and go in and look at some of these and just kind of get familiar with what is kept on the Z drive and the individual properties. But there's a folder called All. And All is kind of like a junk drawer, but not. It kind of has just kind of all the things we need for generically need for associations that we don't put in the specific files. So here's where you're going to find, payment plans, and here's where all the tax ID numbers are, although we're kind of redoing that right now. Here's where you would find a PTO request. Here's where, if you talk to someone about a lunch and learn, this is what you would give them, a lunch and learn guideline. So there are all kinds of forms in here. Also, there's a folder called procedures. You open that and you're going to have all kinds of procedures. This is where you're going to find, training and procedures and, where to find things like that. There's one other file I want to show you before we end this training. I have to go back to the Y drive though. But also you're going to find on the Z drive, which you'll find it on All, for the specific property. So here's Bayside, but they'll also have an Excel file. Some do, some don't. This one doesn't. So let's go back to the All folder. So the Excel All has all kinds of other things. This is how we keep lists, we keep track of things, that kind of thing. So I would just, want you to just look and get familiar with these two drives, the Y and Z. We're still in Z All, and here's company forms and policies. So just get familiar where everything is in here. I'm going to go back to the Y drive for a second. Very important thing I missed was the info sheets. So the info sheets in the Y drive are information sheets, and they're geared toward each and every property. So let's go to Bayside, since we've been talking about Bayside. And we're going to open Bayside's info sheet. And in Bayside's info sheet, it's going to show you all kinds of information. It's going to show you who the manager is, who the assistant is, kind of how many units, everything, all this particular information, the board of directors, who does what, who the accountant is, who the cable and phone people are, et cetera, et cetera. Landscapers, and there could be a ton more information. Sometimes people have paint colors, all kinds of things in here. Well, it looks like there is. No, those aren't pay those are committees. Okay, so again, get yourself familiar with the Y drive, and check out, especially if you've been assigned properties already, check out the info sheet. Just go in and look at one. um, I know, like, here's one for this one. This is Crescent Circle, but there's one for like Brickyard Landing. Let's find that. Brickyard Landing, where are you? And it's this one, and it has about 11 pages. So they're very particular about what information we need to know and all of that stuff. But each property will be different, I guess is what I'm saying. So that kind of wraps that up. I would just say, take time, you know, get familiar with both drives and what's on both drives, and tool around. Be careful not to right click anything. Sometimes things can slide into other things and we lose them. So be very careful, but feel free to look around and get familiar. Okay, this ends our training session, and please let me know if you have any questions.